Look, if you don't teach your kids how to build a gaming system, The Verge will. And nobody wants The Verge to teach anybody how to build a computer. Not even The Verge. Today, my two minions are gonna help me assemble the bench test components for Project Red Star. And I'm gonna go over why I chose the components that I chose so that you can have a more informed opinion about maybe the components you're looking for your next gaming rig. I am TheGrayingTech, a gaming insider, and if you would like to learn how to improve your gaming performance, start now by clicking that subscribe button. So here it is, now that you see it in its final state, let's check out a little bit of a montage of how it got to this point. Show the camera, everybody show the camera. I need my iFixit kit. Do you see it anywhere?
So like the power from here goes up these towards and down to there, so this one.
And just in case, yes.
So that will catch on fire.
I really hope it doesn't catch on fire. And now I need a volunteer to remove this one right here.
Can I move the next one?
Yes.
I am assistant of this person right there.
Another part.
He is George. Okay?
Do you recognize anything? Anything at all?
Yes.
What?
I recognize this whole thing because of one of your videos.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Who would like to install this part?
Me.
Okay. Here you go. How do you touch it? On the sides. A thermal pad is going to go on here, which is going to help remove heat, and there could be circuits back there. So you, generally speaking, you just touch stuff on their sides. You know, I think you were right. So, remember to touch the sides and gently put it in the slot, okay?
Yeah, I know. Now put that in. Push as hard as you can.
No, gently.
Gently push.
The name of the game for all computer components is gentle. All right, now what do you think is next? The super expensive part?
Yeah.
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 All right. Lift up this thing by pulling it down and up. All right, nobody breathe. Okay, I gotta breathe.
Yeah.
This is the most critical component of the computer. This is the hardest thing to replace if it gets broken. Gentle.
And you just slide it in.
You just gently set it in. Let me do it.
Do I have to push it?
Yep. Okay, exhale.
This is kind of fun.
Stiff cable, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. I got.
Making videos is. We're doing these now?
Yeah, I got two for both of you. Do you ever touch the gold part of the computer stuff?
No. No.
No. Okay, now look and see if you see a pattern here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the pattern? That little bar? Where do you think that little bar has to go?
Inside the
In that little spot?
Yeah, and the.
So that tells you the direction that this is supposed to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you slide it in this side?
There. Did that break it?
No, it's really tight though.
You're never supposed to.
I didn't put that in the exact slot it was just in. Now gentle, don't push too hard yet, okay? All right, it's at the point where you push hard. Ready? 1, 2, straight down. 1, ready? 2, 3, push. Which way does it go? Figure it out first before you touch it. Which way?
This way.
Okay, and then like this?
No. No.
Or like this?
Yeah, like that.
All right.
And the tool like that there is for the background, so you don't have to have a background, so you built a background. And this one looks even cooler than a real one would.
Oh, we have to remove the plastic retainer that AMD has installed. Okay. Now I want you to use multiple hands here, dear.
So, yeah, this is my name.
I said deer. Is your name Deer?
No. This is right, that's left.
That's right, that's left.
I was doing right though.
Correct.
You were doing right, but you said my name.
Don't worry, I'm gonna edit most of this out. I want you to put these over these little spots.
Why did you say it?
Changed. I'm also blocking the microphone and part of the camera. Okay, now this part is really important. Okay?
Yeah.
Super important.
Okay, I hope
What's
I'm
a super important job?
This is not food. Don't eat this.
Why? Yummy.
This is paste. Paste like glue, but it's not gonna dry and harden like glue. It's gonna maintain being a paste.
This. Is this supposed to be?
There we go. Perfect. Just like Steve from Gamers Nexus recommends.
What the heck?
What is that called again?
Paste. Thermal
Is the paste?
compound, thermal paste. A couple different names for it.
Is the paste supposed to be everywhere there?
Nope. And you do these a little bit. Oh dear. There it is. You do this a little bit on each side to tighten up the tower. See how I'm just lightly tightening those first? So you want to make sure that everything is balanced as you're installing it. Because what you want,
Why did you tell me?
you want even pressure on all of that metal part. Don't do that, please.
And please be sure to subscribe to my dad's channel.
Okay, good job. So now that the system is assembled, let's talk about the components themselves that I selected so that you might get a better understanding of why I built this rig and what you might be looking for an actual gaming system. So starting off, this rig is going to be used for rendering, streaming, and playing video games. It's going to be a true workhorse, probably running 24/7 doing something. And as such, I wanted very specific components. I remember the first time I held the tiny, well, not so tiny, Threadripper chip in my hand. It was huge. And I didn't understand what AMD was doing, if their claims from their marketing material was going to amount to anything. I didn't believe them. I'm sorry. I chose the 5950X for one specific reason. Video rendering with an AMD processor and an AMD GPU means you need that extra thread count on the CPU. AMD doesn't necessarily have as good of a codex as what NVIDIA has with their technology. So I'm going to be reliant more on raw CPU power than efficient GPU power for a lot of my video rendering that I'm going to be doing here for the channel. So it is your fault. At least that's what I tell my wife. If you are looking to build a rig though, a 5600X is probably the ideal sweet spot right now for performance to value. The 5800X is quite honestly just a little bit overpriced for the performance gains that you're going to get. The next important consideration is the motherboard, the heart and soul and mother of your system. I knew that I wanted to have high thoroughfare NVMe drives, meaning PCI Gen 4, and that did require going with the X570. If you don't need that level of throughput though, the B550 is a highly competent motherboard, and you can pick those up for around $200 or less in the majority of cases. That will pair extremely well with that 5600X that I mentioned previously. For me, it's a difficult trade-off, at least right now, not knowing exactly how you're going to take advantage of it. So if you're going to keep your system for maybe another upgrade, which might be somewhat doubtful with the 5000 series here, but let's say that you do, then you might want to consider the PCIe 4 version, the X570 versus the B55. Despite the fact that it has an Asus motherboard, everything else is the Also brand. AMD processor used to be the Also to Intel. AMD GPUs were the Alsos to NVIDIA's. Sabrent is the Also to Samsung. I will be doing a comparison between PCI Gen 3, PCI Gen 4, and the brand new drives that have come out with this system so that I can show you which drive makes the most sense for your OS, which makes the most sense for file transfer, and which makes the most sense for gaming. You'll want to check out that video. I'll put a link down in the description below. For the power supply, I simply went with a Corsair HX1000, that's a platinum grade PSU, 1 kilowatt in terms of its actual energy output, which is more than enough to power what you are seeing here. If I was to add in a second GPU though, and wanted to start doing LN2 or real true extreme overclocking, that's not gonna cut it. I would actually have to bump that up, probably 12 to 1500 watts. But for you, the gamer, 1000 watt might seem like a bit of overkill, but at this point in the game, they're recommending 850s on these. So if you're building a system, again, for a longer period of time, pay a little bit extra, it's like 20, 30 bucks maybe, and get the full kilowatt capability from the PSU. You'll probably thank yourself down the road. So that is it. That is the bench assembly for Project Red Star. And in the next video in the playlist/series, I will be showing you what I mean by a bench test, because it is critical to make sure that your components are working when you can easily access them in this state before you try to put them in your case. And you can check out that video when it posts right there.